enthusiastic participation, and thank you for your support and cooperation. Every new day is God's blessing. If only we try to count the blessings of the Lord, we must be eternal like Him. Each of us is so blessed in many ways. With a grateful heart, let us begin the day saying, God, I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful to you.
I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
I now invite Ms. Satya, Assistant Professor, Head in Charge, Department of Commerce, to introduce and welcome Mr. Jaimin Shah, Co-founder and CEO, Teachers, Mumbai, the resource person of the day.
Knowledge comes from learning. Wisdom comes from living. Change is the end result of all learning. It is my pleasure to welcome and introduce our resource person, Mr. Jaimin Shah, co-founder and CEO, Teachers, Mumbai, Maharashtra. Mr. Jaimin Shah is an innovator and a problem solver by nature. Education and teaching being his core passion from the childhood, he immediately started his career in teaching by associating with a Mumbai-based coaching classes. After he completed his graduation in management, once he completed his master's in economics, he started teaching in colleges, which was his dream from the beginning. Being a professor, he saw many problems in the industry related to the admin work, which any profession is supposed to do in the college. He published research papers. Ultimately, he dropped teaching after 7 years in the industry to start his own venture called Teachers, where he made a college intelligence app which helps colleagues to automate many manual processes and bridge the informational gap. The software, which was launched in 2018, has gained a lot of popularity today in Mumbai. And now they are also having clients outside India. During his entrepreneurial journey, he has trained more than 1,000 professors, which include college principals on the usage of technology. Recently, this company has launched an initiative called Let's Talk Education, where they have called many eminent speakers to talk on various aspects of education. The initiative has got countrywide acclamation where college authorities from more than 22 states of India have participated. Once again, I feel overwhelmed to welcome our resource person and all the participants gathered here to enrich their knowledge on one platform. The larger the island of knowledge, the longer the shoreline of wonder. We welcome you, sir, and I hand over the session to you, sir.
All right, so good morning, everyone. My name is Jamin Shah, and as the prayer says, we all are so blessed that we all are still alive in this pandemic situation. So I hope you all are really well and fine in this pandemic situation and doing well in your life as well. And I wish you all a very happy World Environment Day as well. Am I audible enough?
Yes, you're good to go. Yeah.
Okay. So yes, I wish you all a very happy World Environment Day. Maybe one of the best environment day that the world is having, or maybe the environment is having, where we have given the chance to the nature to flourish by themselves because we are totally inside our home. So yes, first of all, I would like to thank the college for giving me this opportunity to be a resource person in this faculty development program. So before we start, let me just tell you that I have been organizing many webinars and hosted many speakers. Like I'll just give you a few names. Like we have hosted Dr. John Burgess, principal of St. Stephen's College, Delhi, who is one of the best college in India. We have also hosted Dr. Rajendra Shinde, who is the principal of St. Xavier's College, Mumbai. Also Dr. Lalita Balakrishnan, principal of MOP Vaishnav College, Chennai. And many other, you can say, eminent speakers we have hosted in our webinar, which we have hosted last month. But I have never been a resource person at all, never. So pardon me if I go wrong anywhere. I'll just try to give my best today, but just pardon me if I go wrong anywhere. Also, please do not term my pointers as an advice. I'll just term it as a suggestion, and as I can see, you all are very senior professors. Okay, so the topic given to me is challenging, where I have to, you can say, point out the obstacles in the industry and give the way out to overcome it and achieve the success. Also, I am happy to have this topic with me because I have 3 reasons for that. The first reason is I am out of this teaching industry, and so I am at no risk. So even if I say a few things bluntly, my job is not at stake. Just kidding. Also, there is one more reason that I have been a student as well as a professor at one point in my career. So I have seen the expectations of students very closely and tried to analyze the gap between the expectations and the reality. So I have many points which will be helpful to maybe do the gap analysis between what a student expects and what a teacher delivers. Bridging this gap can be termed as, you can say, overcoming the obstacles in achieving the success in the teaching. And well, that is the actual topic. The third reason why I am happy to have this particular topic is I have been researching on this particular topic from last 2 years. So as Satya madam told that as soon as I have dropped my teaching, so I have been teaching for last 7 years, for 7 years. But I have dropped teaching because I have found many, you can say, problems in the teaching or you can say education industry related to the admin activity that a professor is supposed to do. And being a professor, I was too, you can say, lazy in doing all the administrative activities. I was totally keen on teaching, but I was at the same point of time opposite in terms of doing non-teaching activities. So, and I just saw that with the help of technology, we can really solve these issues of non-teaching activities, starting from maybe a professor is engaged in all the, you can say, admin processes, starting from admission to, you can say, attendance marking, logbook borrow, feedback, or any other thing that a professor is supposed to do. So these are the activities which made me realize that I cannot do this sort of thing. And this sort of things can be easily, you can say, solved with the help of technology. So I dropped teaching. I have started, you can say, my venture, and the rest is the history. And I'll not talk about that particular thing. The only thing is, I have been researching from last 2 years about this particular topic, that what are the actual hurdles that are being faced in the education industry. So, yeah, I'm really happy. There is one disclaimer as well, and a request to all of you that whatever I am going to speak today is a result of my research, which I have been doing from last 2 years. So please do not get offended to any point, because I'm going to touch some of the points which might trigger the nerves, I'm not sure, but which might. So do not take things personally, and I have just maybe pointed out many obstacles which are there in the industry. Some of the pointers could be relevant to you, some of the pointers could not be. Also, I'll be keeping my speech, or I'll try to keep my speech relatively shorter, knowing the fact that longer lectures drop the attention. Also, I have not focused much on this pandemic, as sooner or later, probably this is going to end. But the obstacles that we have in the industry will be as it is, and playing a bigger role in becoming the hurdle to the excellence. So I have tried to cover all sort of hurdles or the obstacles that we have in the industry. So I'll just, start sharing this PPT which I have made. Okay, so the topic is from educational obstacles to educational success. The agenda for this particular topic, or that I have covered in this particular PPT or the speech, is we are going to discuss about the hurdles at a different stage of education, maybe that all the stakeholders are facing. Then we are going to, or I'll just try to give some solutions to it, and then we can discuss few things about the future of education. So this is the basic agenda. So to start with, I have one question. The question is, do we really have obstacles in the industry? So for me, I have defined obstacles. So this is according to me, this is my thought, that what I have defined is, as far as there is a student who is interested in learning and there is a teacher who is interested in teaching, I feel there is no obstacle. So of course you can say, or you may maybe term infrastructural obstacles as well. Like, if there is a student who is really interested in learning and there is a professor who is really interested in teaching, but there is no infrastructural facility, even that is an obstacle. But I would not term this as a major obstacle. The only thing is, if there is no student who is interested to learn, and if there is no teacher who is actually keen on teaching, we have obstacles. So there are two key points: interested students and interested professors.
Mr. Jaimin, sorry to interrupt. So there was a voice was a bit fluctuating and shaking. There was a bit background noise is there in your audio.
Oh, I'll just use just a moment. I'll just use the headphone.
Can you just speak?
Audible?
Yeah, fine, yes.
Okay. All right. So again, just to repeat it, for me, obstacles, we have two major things. If there are interested students, our hand. I mean, whenever top authority or the management is coming to the picture, nothing is in our hand. So what we can do is we can just do what is in our hand, and maybe we can just ignore what is not in our hand. As simple as that. I hope I have answered your.
Yes. I agree with you. We are the next generation teachers. I agree. So someone in the group also, someone answered that students may take us for a ride. So like I would like to answer that. So students, sometimes they may take us for a ride, but when we touch their hearts, they will come back to our, go through their door and make us come through our door. So thank you for the wonderful presentation. I really liked it.
Hello. Dr. Praveen Gupta. Hello. I
Hello,
want to know how it is going to improve the reputation of the institute in the ranking system of worldwide.
I'm not able to hear you properly.
Hello. Yeah. I want to know how this is going to improve the ranking of institution.
How this is in a way what you are exactly pointing.
When you have talked about the ranking system of the ranking of the institute across the global, first 300, first 500, first 700, 1000. Now
Okay. So you are talking about what is the strategy that we should adopt so that even we have universities which can come under the category of first 300, 500 or 1000 or maybe.
You can.
Actually, there is no, you can say, definite strategy per se, and if there would be any definite strategy, then probably there are many Indian universities or the colleges who can actually top the ranking. The only thing that I can understand is the quality-based teaching is something which would maybe help us to achieve those sort of rankings rather than agenda-based teaching or maybe agenda-based education system. See, right now, the system is maybe you can say partially agenda based, wherein I have already mentioned we are doing research for the sake of maybe NAAC grade or maybe for the sake of certificate. We are doing FDP for the same reason. So when we have that sort of, you can say, thing in our mind while we are conducting such sort of good webinars or seminars or maybe any other activities, we are not going to achieve that sort of excellence. But when we have, that thing in our mind that we actually want to change. See, there is a category of I'll tell you. There is one website, there is one organization who are giving awards to awards as a best professor award worldwide. In 2020, there are total 10 awards being given to many professors around the world. The first award is being given to a lady professor from Pakistan. There are 90% of the professors who are not at all aware about that particular award system, because that is completely qualitative award. So if you are totally achieving excellence, if your students are totally satisfied, only then you are going to get the award. So this is the mindset that we need to inculcate to get that sort of maybe rankings. Otherwise there is no way out. If you are just you can say हम लोग फंस गए लूप के अंदर कि हमें ग्रेड चाहिए, सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए, रिजल्ट डिक्लेयर करना है, and so on and so forth. So until and unless we are not maybe taking ourselves out of that particular loop, we are not going to solve it, or we are not.
There is one more question that, regarding the non-teaching job or non-teaching related administration. There are many works that are assigned by the manager or the director of the.
You cannot solve if it is being assigned by manager.
How a professor, assistant professor, anybody who is getting salary from the organization can refuse those type of.
I am not aware about the you can say legal things or maybe any other structural things, but yes,
legally, morally, in any sense, if your director is saying this job is to be completed, then how a private sector employee, who is whatever the position it may be, can refuse for that particular?
I'm sorry, I'm really not aware about you can say how you can actually avoid some orders given by the management, because this is something really contradictory. If you are avoiding the orders of the management, you are actually putting yourself
You cannot avoid
jeopardize
them.
situation where your job is at
You-
risk. So
you-
I'm
there is
that,
no scope. The question reality is this one. In
So-
any of the institution, all the institutions, private sector, I know many of the institutions, there is no scope of this one. They will give you date and
There is-
time. You have to complete by this particular date and time. You have to complete it.
So I'll tell you, sir. So I'm talking about, you can say, the typical problems of NAC grading or something. Just because I'm right now sitting in that position wherein my job is not at risk. Even if I have been in the teaching fraternity, I would have feared that अगर मैंने ये बोल दिया शायद मेरे पे action ना ले ले कोई. So right now I'm speaking just because I'm out of the industry.
The reality is that one kid non-administration job, you cannot refuse them.
We cannot
and
refuse
they are,
them. We
and
can-
they are more than teaching jobs. The reality is this one.
We cannot actually refuse them, but what we can do is we can actually insist them to have one or the other sort of technological solutions, because I'll tell you there are many technological solutions with the help of which your administrative work will be zero, totally zero. You can just at least insist them that these are the tools that you need to use so that your admin work will be minimized and you'll be more focused toward your education. So we have one webinar titled "Let the Teachers Do the Teaching." In last month we have conducted one webinar and that was the title, and we have discussed the same you can say problem, that teachers are not you can say more concentrated on the teaching. So the title was "Let Teachers Do the Teaching." So we can do that sort of thing. We can just insist management that this is something you need to use, the tools that you need to use, technological tools, with the help of which the maybe you can say admin work will be minimized.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I hope I have answered your question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning. This is Susan
morning.
from Chennai.
Morning.
Very young and energetic, enthusiastic lecture. The presentation was so good and really a fruitful presentation. First of all, thank you for that.
Thank you.
The question is, sir, actually, I'm also a soft skill trainer plus assistant professor. So
Okay.
what I do is that whatever the questions you just posted, so mostly I take my classes with activities only. So
Oh, okay.
attendance will be 100% with my classes. So people come to my, though they roam, they will come to my class because for activity case, at least they come to my class.
Okay.
But SARS many, before sir has raised one question, we have breaks by management. Some cases, no, in all the cases they don't allow us. No, not to do now. No, they will scold, they will question us. This is one problem I'm facing.
Yes.
And the other thing is, sir, not only in this type of problems arise, when you do it something that you want to give a fruitful thing also, we need to write more letters to the management. You need to get more formal. There are many formal gaps for us to get one point to be considered. My point to be considered, we need to write many formal letters. We are fed up of that also. And one more time, like when students are trying, when we are trying to take them in the new trendy life cycle, means now students, they want only trendy thing. I mean, they doesn't want to have a very bored lecture by seeing
Definitely.
only the mouth and just listening. Now we are not liking that at all.
Yes.
We
Yes.
want to be very interactive. I'm not dancing in the class. That one I'm not doing. But for my soft skill classes, for my things, I have taken some shaping personality traits, soft skills for engineers, for managers. So I need to put under my game. I have to do all these type of things in my soft skill trainings. So we need to engage ourselves. But sir, we have many breaks. As you said, like our things are also not being recognized by a management also. Now please suggest us what to do in these cases.
Ma'am,
Something which is not taken at all. They don't consider and they doesn't see that it is a good activity. They see it's one of the class. That's all.
So what I could conclude from your three questions is that there is a lot of problem which faculties are having when we talk about the management, because there is always a gap between. See, I'll tell you some typical thing. So we as an educator, even if we are a professor or a vice principal or a principal, we actually know the know-how of the education industry, and we know how to teach, how to make it more interactive session, or maybe any other thing which is related to teaching. On the other hand, we have management who are not educators, who are actually, you can say, a businessman. So they are more focused towards profit and loss. So see, I'll give you one example. Maybe adding up to your you can say problem as well, but I do not have a practical solution to it. But I'll give you one example. So what I had is when I had a meeting with one college principal and a management, what management told in front of the principal that why do you want to use this sort of system or why do you want to install this sort of software? मतलब अपने प्रोफेसर्स वैसे भी इतने ज्यादा हैं, उनको करने दो ना काम जितना करना है उतना. मतलब why do you want to offload their burden? हम लोग वैसे भी उनको सैलरी दे रहे हैं, तो क्यों कम करना है? So this is something, a typical mindset that all the or maybe most of the managements will be having, that they are totally business minded, they are totally looking at you can say collection of the fees or maybe expenses, how to minimize the expenses and so on and so forth. So we do not have a practical solution for that particular thing, but of course what you have told is you need to maybe escalate that particular matter, or maybe in a group what you have in your college, the entire faculty a letter that this is how they are feeling and this is how you can actually improve. See, at the end, management is really interested in improving NAC rating or maybe NBFC rating or any other thing. So when you connect your reason with NAC rating, कि सर हम लोगों ने ये कर दिया तो हमारा NAC ऐसे बढ़ेगा. So there is a possibility that they might be having more interest in that particular thing. So that is what I can maybe suggest.
There is also one more thing in this. As you said, okay, I accept, might be because of the management issues and management problem. One more, you said that allow the teachers for teaching.
Let the teachers do the teaching. Yes,
but yes, that is also 50% of administrative work. So really, we are fed up sometimes when we need to.
Ma'am, that is the reason why I have, you can say, left the industry and started my venture. Because actually, there are two things. First thing is I wanted to solve the problem. Second thing is I could not survive doing all the administrative works, because by heart I was a total professor, and I'm a lazy person. I'll tell you, there was one incident wherein, see, कैसे होता है कि अटेंडेंस शीट हमें फाइल में से निकालनी होती है और लेक्चर में जाके वहाँ पे अटेंडेंस भरनी होती है. What I was supposed to do is, मैं वो अटेंडेंस शीट फाइल में से निकालना नहीं है. What I was doing is, मैं उसको टीयर करता था, ऐसा बाहर निकालता था खींच के, वो फट जाती थी. और फिर एक प्रोफेसर ने मुझे बताया कि तुम क्या कर रहे हो, इतना तो लेजी मत बनो. So I'll tell you, this sort of lazy person I was at that point. So, and that is the maybe a real motivation or a problem which I have faced, and I started this particular thing. So I can really agree with your point that the problem is there. I mean, we need to let the professors do that particular teaching activity. But yes, unfortunately, we are not. The only you can say way out is usage of the technology. So as far as you are insisting your management or the college authorities to use technologies to minimize your processes, you are happy. Otherwise, you have all your burdens to maybe deal up with.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Vinod Patil. Dr. Vinod Patil, you wanna answer you wanna raise the question?
Hello.
There is one comment. Okay, there is one comment. I'll just read it out. Even in this pandemic situation, we are doing the admin work, like calling the students to pay their fees. I can feel it. Okay, go on, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I wanted to ask regarding one question, that is, how the faculties can have a good connection with industries, in your opinion?
So it is all about, see, usually what happens is when I have talked with the industries, even they are looking for a good connection with a professor. So for an example, if I'm running an IT industry, so what I wish is, if I have some good connects in the education industry, I'll directly ask them कि teacher या फिर मतलब XYZ, I need this sort of student. अगर आपके ध्यान में कोई student available है, just let me know, because मेरा recruitment process इतना बड़ा है, वो पूरा cut short हो जाएगा if I have a good recommendation, maybe a hand-picked recommendation from your end. So even industries are actually looking at you can say industrial and teacher-based connects. So even if you are maybe approaching one or the other industry related to your particular subject, just approach randomly that I'm from so and so profession, or I'm doing so and so thing, and I just want to get a good connection with you, and they'll definitely say yes, because I know they are really in need of, you can say, a good recruitment. Because what they have is, I have maybe calculated, or we have calculated that particular thing. Their recruitment cost is so high that they are ready to maybe have a tie-up with, in fact, all the colleges for this particular thing, because the recruitment cost is so high. So practically, there is no such problem when you want to connect with the industry. The only thing is you need to start that initiative. They are not going to start.
Yes, yes.
Any other questions?
Guys, sorry. Okay, you can ask, sir. Please.
Can I go ahead, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Okay, Zamin, it was a good presentation.
Thank you.
You represented the students' part very well, even apart from a faculty member. I tell you, we all participants, majority of them, they are feeling that, okay, whatever you're saying is right. And partially, some of the teachers do all those things where they score 5 instead of 0. Okay.
Could be.
But there are students among participants only who score like 40 less than 40 scores. But these things are, according to me, are quite obvious.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
True.
So why I'm asking this question is that what are the regulators, so-called authorities, so-called planners, so-called, visionaries, they're not able to see the common things when we, in an audience of 170 or even any organization, anywhere you go for a webinar like this, everybody realizes this.
Yes.
The
True.
problem is action is not being taken place even at the teachers end. I'll blame first myself.
Yes.
Then even at the regulators end also. Even when somebody, goes with a novel idea or concept, he's treated as a fool because he's not talking about API, he's not talking about NAC, he's not talking
Very
about
true.
anything.
Very true.
And he is labeled as a mad also when you continuously do these things. I'm telling you from this my experience.
True. I definitely agree on this point.
Basically, people like you, people like me, and others, they should do something where these things are, make much louder and heard to all those people who are there at the planning side. Even we have to implement introspect ourselves also, where we score all those 5s.
Yes.
So what's your take on that? I mean, I'm shocked that such a vibrant personality, you left the situation rather than struggling with it.
See, I have opted.
There might be other reasons also.
No, the only thing is, see, first thing is, अच्छा मतलब एक और एक crux है कि I am a Gujarati, so at the end business is inside me. So for me, might be it is really easy for me to maybe locate the problem, and I have that sort of, you can say, problem solving mind. मतलब I'm not boasting it, I'm just telling it कि मुझे हमेशा ये लगता है कि ये problem को solve कर ही सकते हैं, and that is the reason.
Samit, as you said, na, there are some people, majority of them, they are in loop.
Yes, they are in loop. So for me, I guess I have no, you can say, solution for that particular matter wherein professor is totally inside a loop. But what we can do is, see, there is a common or a famous saying that we should start from our own self.
Yes,
see,
that is pakka.
Again, there is one quote like think global and act local. So you can think about the you can say the entire industry, that ये industry का जो भी loop है, we should actually break that particular wheel. But if we cannot do that globally, at least we can do it locally. At least we can by ourselves maybe be that self-disciplined, so that culture is being created. कि हाँ मतलब there are few professors who are actually in this particular who are in this fraternity, who are actually too honest about doing their job. And maybe that is how we can spread. See, again, there is a ray of hope in that particular thing. I cannot, or nobody can guarantee that this is going to change. But we can have at least a ray of hope that
there are
yes, who are doing it, and they could be the motivation.
Yes. Thank you, Zamin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other question? Participants? Any other questions?
Zamin, do share this PPT also. We'll ask just from our faculty members also.
Definitely, sir.
Similar sort of questions.
Definitely.
They need to judge themselves also, whether they are 75, 50 or 40. Okay.
Definitely. I'll do. Any questions anybody is having?
Okay. I think no questions from the teacher's side. So we are going to wind up the session by saying vote of thanks. Feeling gratitude. Feeling gratitude and not expressing, it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. Today, I take this opportunity to put all my gratitude in the form of words. On behalf of the Auxilium College and the Department of Commerce, I would like to thank our resource person, Mr. Jarman Shah, who graced our function with thought-provoking address to get a perfect platform for our dear participants. Sir, your explanation towards the real obstacles and the self-analysis really made us to understand how to engage and encourage our students. Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session. Thank you for the beautiful quotes about the teachers. I would like to thank our dear participants who have helped us in making this FDP as a successful one. I am happy to express my sincere thanks to our management for the constant support and guidance. I extend my thanks to my organizing team and my technical team. Once again, thank you for all your guardian cooperation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Jaimin Shah and Dr. Auxilia Anthony for hosting the session. And thank you all the participants who had been passionately asking many questions. So it was one of the innovative sessions we had the last 4 days. So thank you for inspiring the academicians always, Jaimin. And so continue your good work. So thank you so much and looking forward to connect with you in another time in another session shortly. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.